Voters registered here for election 2023. ZANU-PF has got Wiriranai Muchemwa and Cosmas Konono is there for and on behalf of Triple C. And we want to see what the margins will say here, because the margins will speak to a greater battle. The margins will speak also to the presidential election, which we'll now be focusing on as we keep receiving results, and we hope we'll start getting these results trickling in. So, and the results, Marondera Central, they're going to Caston Mateo, who got 14,712 votes for Triple C, and he beat Clopas Kundiwona of ZANU-PF, who has there 9,714 votes, ahead of also Mishek Manyere, another interesting place because there were two Triple C candidates, Mishek Manyere only getting 1,763 votes there in Marondera Central. And just a little bit of trivia about Clopas Kundiwona. He is a celebrated educationist there in Marondera, and he's always been trying to get his hands on that ultimate prize to become the MP for and on behalf of ZANU-PF. He's not succeeded in the past. He hasn't again today. Cowdrey Park, what we're talking about just now. Pasho Sibanda of Triple C coming in with 8,411 votes and winning that constituency ahead of the Finance Minister, Mtuli, who had promised El Dorado for and on behalf of ZANU-PF. And Mtuli, he polled 6,530 votes. So in spite of the wireless the internet connectivity and all the developments he has made, he's fallen short of winning that Mtuli Ncube has. Many contestants here in Sunningdale, for example, where a popular name and activist, Maureen Kadema of Triple C, winning with 13,300 votes in Sunningdale, ahead of Lois Magweba of ZANU-PF, and she polled 6,232 votes. And a little below there, we see Christmas Gorem Sandu, also of the Triple C, but there was no Christmas coming early for Gorem Sandu. He only got 2,762, whilst Jonathan Makaza of Uza got 183. So that's Sunningdale going to Triple C, Triple C A, if they should be fielded as such. In Chegutu West, Edmo Chivero of Triple C getting 13,042 votes and winning that constituency ahead of ZANU-PF's Farai Chigavazira. Farai got 11,308 votes, and Gift Konjana was an independent. Gift got 872 votes. That wasn't enough of a gift to make him win that constituency, whilst Prince Matibe was not to be crowned this time around, getting only 320 votes, whilst Elizabeth Mackay, one of a few women who've been running in this election, an independent, getting 722 votes. More results there coming with Chikomba West constituency, Tatenda Mavetera getting 19,620 votes there, whilst Emmanuel Punungwe getting 7,860. So Tatenda Mavetera for ZANU-PF winning that constituency ahead of her rival Tatenda Mavetera, no newcomer to a lot of people because she is an actress and was known for being one of the key pioneers. She was in Studio 263 as an actress. Nketa has four people who were vying for honors, with Obit Manduna getting 10,605 votes for Triple C to effectively win that constituency, losing behind Tavengwa Zijga of ZANU-PF with 2,556 votes. Vincent Lovo, an independent, polling 1996, whilst Catherine Dube of UZA, one of the women as well, getting 183 votes. And it's definitely unfortunate, but we're seeing a trend where our women are not winning their constituencies, which is remarkably sad. Of course, we would want more and more varied representation in our Guest House. Emakandeni Luveve, Collins Bajila of Triple C winning that constituency with 9,657 votes. Ahead of Brian Samuriwo of ZANU-PF. Brian polled 3,416. Behind him, Nicodemus Ncube has 175, and they're from UZA, whilst Kulumani Ndlovu of ZANC getting 129 votes. And that's the story there in Emakandeni Luveve. Bikita West constituency went to ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF's Daniel Natiso getting 11,614 votes, ahead of Pikirai Gutuza of Triple C, 7,775, and Madok Chivasa of the NCA getting 774 votes. Now, don't discount these numbers because they're also going to come into play within the Senate. As you know, there's going to be proportional representation based on these numbers. So we also always need to look at the numbers with that in mind, and also remembering that these figures will also have a bearing when we look at the presidential vote. The higher the margin, the better for your candidate at the top ticket. Bikita East, Boniface Mudzingo has got 9,880 votes for ZANU-PF to win that constituency, whilst Court Zevezai has got 7,544 votes for Triple C, with Bikita East going to ZANU-PF. Over to Makoni Central, where Patrick Sangandira of Triple C got 9,644 votes, as you can see there, to win that constituency for Makoni Central on behalf of Triple C. Following behind is Shepard Nika of ZANU-PF. The margins not too big, just slim, little over 1,000, 8,503 for Shepard, whilst David Tekeshe of the MDC Trangirai getting 1,760 votes. Who would have thought? More results there coming to us again from Bulawayo. 1-2 Jane Watson of Triple C winning Bulawayo South by 10,470 votes, ahead of Raj Modi, the businessman of ZANU-PF, getting 3,752. That was another very interesting constituency. People wanted to see how Modi was going to fare, and obviously you've gotten the results. Seke, just in the outskirts, on the hem of the capital there, going to Tafumanei Madzimbamuto of Triple C, and they've got 14,032 votes. Tobias Kashambe of ZANU-PF getting 3,277 votes, whilst Frederick Muzanenamo of DUZ getting 235 votes. And now, Mutoko is traditionally been one of those constituencies that go to the ruling party, to ZANU-PF, and they didn't disappoint again this time around. Mutoko South with Isaac Tasikani getting 17,459 votes, ahead of Mapango of Triple C getting 4,296 votes. And we stay in the same part of the woods, with Mutoko North going to Caleb Makwiranzo of ZANU-PF winning by 16,132 votes, ahead of Taurai Mavoko who for Triple C, who got 5,822 votes. That's Taurai Mavoko. That's Taurai Mavoko. In Kadoma Central, Latliwe Mafa of Triple C gets that constituency with 14,940 votes, almost twice as much as the rival from ZANU-PF, Cosmas Daka, who got 7,956 votes, whilst Zikamai Mamamuti of MDCT got 476. So Zikamai Mamamuti of MDC, well, that's pretty unfortunate, only getting that paltry number. In Wedza South, ZANU-PF clinching that and emphatically We've got Tino Machakaire, who was the Deputy Minister of Youth, of course, in this cabinet that has just folded, getting 12,563 votes ahead of Valentine Zinumwe of the Triple C, who got 5,822 votes. So we will be seeing Tinoda Machakaire, Tino Tinmac, coming back into the August House, albeit at a different location because, as you know, we're moving up to Mount Hampden. Wedzan North, where we had our man Mgoich Gada, who was giving you a lot of updates from there. That is gone to Itai Ndudzo of ZANU PF, who polled 18,762 votes ahead of Katsaya of Triple C. Katsaya has got 5,711. And Fidelis has got 664 votes, and that's for ZNRP, one of the fringe parties. There are quite a number of fringe parties this time around, albeit less than last election, but we've got the smaller parties also represented. Over to Sanyati. Polite Kambamura, former Deputy Minister of Mines in this folded cabinet, he got 17,474 votes for ZANU PF to win that constituency. So Sanyati is gone for that whooping number. A distant second is Triple C, and the Triple C candidate getting 4,843, whilst Mangaliso Chabuka, an independent, got 406 votes. Sanyati goes, and with a great margin. We come back home, going to Ziatun, Bulawayo North, Minentle Kumete of Triple C winning Bulawayo North with 10,260 votes, way ahead of Nkosana Mkandla of ZANU PF, Nkosana polling 2,679 votes, and following that is Frank Mklanga of UZA with 356 votes, and a distant fourth is Sibonogutle Kumalo of the DOP with 182 votes. As you see, these results keep coming, and we get to see Chinoi constituency, and this is the capital of Mash West, Mash Best. What's happened there? Evermore Mangwa of Triple C getting that by a country mile with 15,761 votes. Thomas Chidzonga of ZANU PF follows with 10,051. Nyasha Mutodi of ZCPD getting 85 votes. And Peter Munyanduri scraping 60 votes for DOP. So Chinoi goes to Triple C. And this, we shall be showing you a map as we go eventually of how the colors are looking. Is it what's gone for green and what's gone for yellow, so that you see how the country is being divided bit by bit in this electoral battle. I said this a few days ago about Mzarabani South, the land of Bodagezi, and at that time when Bodagezi was the MP for this particular constituency, it actually was one constituency, Mzarabani North and South, really huge, cut across by the Mavradona Mountains. What happens here? Mzarabani South going to Kabikira Benjamin of ZANU PF, and he, trounced the opposition. He's got 22,526 for ZANU PF, while Gweru Wellington of Triple C managing 1,984, 1984. Over to Norton. Norton was another very interesting place. We talked about it a few days ago. There was Buru, there was Richard Trangirai Jr., and there was Constant Shamu. Was Richard going to be the Lionheart? Was Constant going to remain constant and consistent? Or was Buru going to slay? And it's been answered now today in the results show. Richard Trangirai, Triple C, winning that with 13,089 votes. Constance Shamu, ZANU PF coming with third with 5,017 votes, whilst Timba Burum Liswa, well, he's been slayed. He's been slayed for 7,518. He was the independent MP for that place for the past 5 years, and he's failed to win that ticket yet again as an independent this time around. Over to Matobo in Manicaland, where Edgar Moyo of ZANU-PF won this particular constituency. It was very tight, 7,366 ahead of Colin Ngwenya of Triple C. Colin polled 6,219 votes, whilst Mulungi Sanyati, who was an independent, got 453 votes. They keep rolling, they keep coming. Magunje constituency, that's Mashonaland West, Mashonaland Best. ZANU-PF managing to win this, but only just. And this is Super Monga, Super with 10,121 votes for ZANU-PF, taking that constituency, whereas Tenderai, for I think it is, Tenderai has 8,422 votes, whilst Gabriel Jassy, an independent, got 453. So this is Tenderai, I think it is Tenderai as in allow. Gweru Urban, Josiah Makombe winning this for the opposition, Triple C, with 12,450 votes. Alex Mukwembi for ZANU-PF managing less than half of that with 5,422 votes, whilst Brian Dube of the MDCT scraping to 672 votes. Let's go to Chiredzi Central constituency, and we were talking about the urban constituencies or semi-urban constituencies usually going to the opposition, and they don't disappoint this time around in Chiredzi Central, where Ropafadzo Makumbe of Triple C has 12,342 votes, followed by Francis Moyo of ZANU-PF with 7,832 votes, whilst Gibson Wende, an independent, has 676 votes. And now to Chiredzi East, staying in the same neck of the woods, we've got CIA Mundunga Hamba, and they have 14,265 votes to win that emphatically for ZANU-PF, followed there by Godfrey Malulege, who's from Triple C and has 3,922 votes, whilst Matlupego Vrande, who is with the NCA, getting only 262 votes. And we keep rolling because we keep getting more and more results. Same neck of the woods, Chiredzi West, Darlington Chiwa of ZANU-PF taking that very, very comfortably with 15,054 votes. And Namoinesu Machigere as it is, from Triple C has 6,554. Namoinesu not winning and not getting any joy this time around. And it seems we're mopping up the same neck of the woods, because Chiredzi North comes up next with Roy Bila of ZANU-PF winning that with 18,696 votes. And as I said, now this is a rural constituency. It's a traditionally ZANU-PF constituency. Doesn't disappoint again this time around. 18,696 for ZANU-PF ahead of Fungai Chamisa of Triple C, obviously, with 2,584, just managing that paltry number, unfortunately, for him. And then Chiredzi South, ZANU-PF taking that through Joel Sitole with 11,552 votes there. And right here, Douglas Gumbo of Triple C, 7,528. So this results show is giving you all the excitement, all the statistics, and of course, you shall also know the number of registered voters and how they all played out into the greater scheme of things. Mutare North constituency, where Admire Mahachi of ZANU-PF won by 16,133 ahead of Tendai Takabika of Triple C, who only managed 7,878 votes, just less than half of the competitor. Now this is actually a very busy board, because people in Mwange really wanted to represent their people, and so we've got, I think this is actually the constituency with the most people running in for one parliamentary seat. Now this is Mwange Central. It goes to Daniel Mologele Tsiye of Triple C, and he's got 9,167 votes. Ahead of Rids Dube of ZANU-PF, who polled 5,157 votes. Cosmas Ndlovu, an independent, got 646 votes. Another independent, Brian Chinene, getting 225 votes. Salani Nkomazana, of the MDCT, Salani is left behind with 102 votes, whilst Harriet Nyati of Free Zim getting 74 votes and no free ticket into the August House, as it were. And this is how things are looking. If you see that map right at the end there, that map with the red and the green, that's when it was the MDC Alliance versus ZANU-PF. That is how the elections looked like and ended in the year 2018. That's how things were looking when all the results came through. And now this particular map over here shows us where we are at the moment and where we stand. And we shall keep giving you more and more color, more and more figures until we finish coloring the whole of this beautiful, bounteous land from Zambezi to Limpopo. Here we've got up to 92, as it were, constituencies ahead of other results that we expect here on ZTN Prime. So we shall be giving you another map as we keep going to then show you how the yellow of Triple C is faring against the green of ZANU-PF. And just a little bit of trivia and information there about the number of registered voters over the past 4 elections outside of course, this historic one that we've got. You'll see at the tail end there, we've got the 2008 elections where 5.57 million people registered to vote. And that number went up in the next election in 2013. People were revving and raring to go. There was 5,000,089 voters that registered to vote. Fast forward to 2018, the most recent election there that we got, we had 5.69 million people registering to vote. That number went down a bit. Actually, it's the lowest since 2008. And then in 2022, we had a poll. As you know, we had quite a number of by-elections, which were something of a test run for this particular election that we're dealing with here. And in it, 5.80 million people registered to vote. And needless to talk about this current one, this record-breaking one. I don't know how they did it. For all their faults and flaws, this is one thing that we have to go to ZEC and say, well, you did an absolutely brilliant job in encouraging people to register because, as you know, it's 6.6 million people who registered to vote. Oh, and now let me look at these gentlemen. These two are our front runners, and we've been talking about them quite a bit. This was how these two gentlemen fared in 2018. Emerson Mnangagwa for ZANU-PF, and of course Nelson Chamisa, who is for Triple C this time around. But then we've colored him red because it was still, as I said, with the MDC Alliance, which was that red movement. So that last time around, Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa winning the presidency last time around, he got 50.8% of the vote, whilst Nelson Chamisa polled 44.3% of the vote. So much can be said, but these two would seem like they're the only runners and riders. By far, no, we've got Harry Peter Wilson, we've got Love Mo Maduku, we've got Elizabeth Valerio there. She's a first-time contestant, and she's our only female candidate, which is unfortunate. And we keep trying to encourage our women folk out there to say, step up to the plate. This is your country. This is our country. We hope one day to see, to go up to State House and ask to see Madam President. we've got another 4 that are vying for the presidency. So don't think that it's just the 2 we keep mentioning, but they keep getting mentioned because, of course, they are perceived to be the front runners by exit polls. But we've got Blessing Kasiam Muru, for example, and we've got Gwinyai Mzorewa, Harry there. He's a younger brother to the late Abel Tendekai Mzorewa, the Bishop Abel Mzorewa, who, of course, was superintending over Zimbabwe, Rhodesia, in 1979, that short-lived republic, if ever it was. And he's also come in and running under the UANC, the United African National Council, the colors of his brother. And he is also raring to go. He wants the ticket to State House. Well, this is all that we've had for you. We are going to be having more and more results coming through for you, and I'm going to be hosting these very informative sessions, and we are absolutely happy to have had you here. I'm Robin Mkondiwa, and I have been giving you this result, and I'm going to be giving you more. But in the meantime, we're crossing over to the Minister of Information, Monica Mchangwa, I presume it is. Oh no, we are actually going to the command center. It's not Monica Mchangwa. It is actually Chris Mchangwa we are crossing over to, and we shall be hearing from him because there's a press conference going on right now, and we know you want to have a front row seat to it. We'll see you soon.